Hey, what is up, guys? Hope your races are going well this week. Welcome to a new series that I've been wanting to start. I've been getting into more and more different types of racing lately. Now that I'm on the rig, playing iRacing, playing all these sims. I used to just watch F1. Now I'm kind of into more of the sports car series, like WEC and IMSA and all that other stuff. I'm sure a lot of you guys are too. I've been wanting to start a series to where we take the track that they're about to drive on for the weekend and we do a deep dive of it. Its history, its logistics, and then we go ahead and take a lap around the track ourselves. So as some of you know, with the IMSA Sports Car Championship coming down to an end this weekend, I wanted to dive into Road Atlanta. And I drove it last week on iRacing for a little bit. It's a fun track. It's hard to master. Oh, locked up bad. It's hard to get down. But I wanted to dive into the history and then dive into the track just a little bit to get everyone excited for this last race. So let's dive into it. So just to start, I wanted to get into the history of Road Atlanta just a little bit. So it started out as a farmer's field apparently in 1969. There was another track that the Can-Am cars were racing on. Unfortunately, it flooded. These individuals went ahead and bought the land for Road Atlanta itself. And since that track flooded, they went ahead and made Road Atlanta for the Can-Am season. So starting in 1970 is when they would actually open up, and Road Atlanta would have its first race on September 13th. The track has been home to many series, including Can-Am, Formula 5000, IMSA Camel GT, and also some very famous drivers that you may know have raced on this track, including Jody Scheckter, Dan Gurney, Mario Andretti, and also Kiki Rosberg. So the track itself is a 2.54 mile track. It consists of 12 turns, and it's even been the birthplace of Formula Drift, which I'm sure a lot of you know about Formula Drift. 2012 is when NASCAR would actually buy the track, and NASCAR would hold on to it ever since 2012. So that's pretty cool. So now that we know a little bit about the history, what I wanted to do is go ahead and dive into Petit Le Mans itself. I've been endurance racing more and more, and it's a series that is so hectic because there's so many different classes of cars around the grid. Not only do you have to worry about yourself and placement of the cars in your class, but you have to find a way around the other cars in the other classes too, right? So I've been doing more and more of the Falcon tire racing, which consists of that multi-class, and it's just a blast. It's a fun time. The other cars that are outside of your actual class is like that equalizing factor too, because there are strategies behind you getting around that car. You getting around the car better than the guy behind you is that you're battling in that class. And we saw that at Indianapolis, where some cars would get pinned behind the GT category, and the GTP category would kind of get stuck there for a little bit, or one GTP would find a way around another GTP, and it's that equalizing factor. It's that extra factor that you have to accommodate for when you're trying to get around traffic. Getting into Petit Le Mans itself. So a man by the name of Dan Panos would actually buy the track, Road Atlanta, and in 1998 would host the first 10-hour Petit Le Mans race. That's where it was born. Obviously, we still do it to this day. Since then, 9,600 laps have been completed, and even though Dr. Panos doesn't own the track anymore, obviously we still do it. Now that we know just a tad bit about Petit Le Mans and the history behind the track, I did want to go over some quick facts as well. So David's gonna love this. Audi has the most wins, manufacturer wins, at 9. That's super cool. Audi obviously doesn't race there right now, but they have the most at 9. Last year, the fastest lap was actually set by the J. Wellen 31 Cadillac with a time of 1:10.917. I did do some research on the lap times last year. For some reason, it looked like the LMP2s were going a little bit faster on average during the race than the GTPs or LMDHs, whatever you guys want to call them. But that's just insane to me that it's able to put down a 110 around this track. I don't know what the difference is between last year's and this year's is, but who knows? Also, that's in real life, and this is a sim where I don't have to worry about death, so that's good too. So the fastest lap ever recorded actually was by the Peugeot 908 HDI. LMP1 category car, super fast car, and it did it with a 107.056. So if you compare the times from back then to what they're putting down now last year, it's a difference of almost 4 seconds. Almost 4 seconds. So that's pretty crazy to think about. That Peugeot is just so fast. Like it is incredibly fast, and that's insane to me. So last year's winner actually would be Acura. Shout out to Acura. I used to drive an Acura, so I'm conflicted in this GTP category, the IMSA category, you know. So the ARX-06 would have been last year's would be last year's winner. So with that being said, now that we know a little bit about the track and about the history behind the track, let's go ahead and get into the sim. Let's go ahead and drive the Cadillac. I'm feeling a little ambitious today, and let's get some laps down. Let's see what this track is all about. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. We're at Road Atlanta in the Cadillac GTP car. I've done a lap or two around the track. It is a very crazy kind of track. The thing that gets me the most is that there are blind hills that you kind of come down that you need to kind of know where to position your car, position those tires to kind of get down. This track has always given me trouble because it's so hard for me to master. It really is. But I've been loving it this week. I've been loving it last week when I drove LMP3 on it, and it's just been a blast. Let's get out on track, and we'll do a lap or two of the track. Just get familiar with it. Warm up our tires for a little bit here. Alright, here we're coming up on turn 2. Gotta put your tires right there on the curb. Turn 3. Here we come down into the S's here. Turn 5 is a tricky one. You want to trailblade just a little bit, get your wheels over here. Coming up on turn 6 here. Brake just a little bit. I usually stay in 4th. And then this is a really tricky corner as well. You brake, come down, kind of touch the curb here, and then throttle out and go wide. That'll be turn 7. Turn 8. Kind of this straightaway right here. And we're coming up on turn 9 right here. Turn 10A and 10B will be this little turn, the left, right. And then you have 11, which is this, and 12, which will be the long end, that right angle there. So this track is very hard for me to master. This hill always gets me right here, and where to place the tires on the curb on that outside always gets me. That hill used to get me right there going through the S's, and then same thing here, kind of trail braking it off and then coming out a little wide, not to, and you can go pretty wide on that turn, not to get into track limit issues. Coming out wide, gonna go down into 2, hit the tires on the curb, start throttling out on the right, on the left side. Want to brake just before the white line is where I found that it's pretty good. Brake hard. Come down on the brake. Tires on the little divot there. And this turn 11 has gotten me so many times there. Alright, let's see if we can get a pretty good lap going. Alright, dabble the brake. Coming around. Want to brake a little bit into 4, put our tires on the curb there. blind corner going through the S's right there, or blind hill, excuse me. Tires on the curve, down into 4, release it just a little bit. A little too wide there, a little too wide. Start braking, down into 4, let off that brake just a little bit. Down into 2, gradually let off the brake as we come around. We're chasing our ghost, we're chasing our ghost. About 2/10 slower than our ghost here. He's having a good day. Brake nice and hard. Oh, lost traction just a little bit there. Let off just a little bit too soon. Didn't hold the brake just long enough. Gas it out, just a little tiny brake. Oh, locked up bad. That's what I'm saying, is that blind corner right there is just, it is relentless, guys. It really is relentless. And once I'm like out of the groove of the track, I kind of start to make little tiny mistakes here and there. It's just kind of funny. Because once you actually get the track down, it's actually very nice and flowy. And a lap on this track really isn't that long. So once you get like you flowing through it a little bit, that's when things start to get a little easier. See, that time it was a little bit better. We're going a little too wide there. Alright, starting our next lap here. That was a little too in. Cut it just a little too much there. Now the one thing that I did learn driving on this track in LMP3 is how to kind of use the throttle to move the car around that turn. Use the throttle, input the throttle, and it rotates the car just a little bit more. Oh. Traction lights are going everywhere. Best here is a 108.5. Just on a normal setup. This isn't like a crazy setup or anything like that. Oh my goodness. It's such a good track. It really is. I think I need to put down the throttle a little bit sooner there. That felt good. That felt good. Use a little bit more of the track here. Come through the S's again. I'm just not getting on throttle soon enough there. That's the issue that I'm having right there. It's just need to get on it a little bit sooner. Oh, missed the apex there. That's unfortunate. Looked like we were ahead by a little bit there. I have driven the 963 here as well, just testing it out, and it's a hard car to drive. Throttle application was just a little bit better there. We're coming out with a 108.9. Not bad at all. So, the biggest thing with this track is that I feel like every single turn on this track is kind of rough. You really have to dial in everything about the car. Now, I haven't driven this car on a setup. I'd like to, but I haven't. it just feels like everything about this car or everything about the track is just, it's tough. It really is tough. Definitely got to get your practice laps in and learn the car. Definitely. So one of the things that I really wanted to do was just take you guys through the track itself. We're starting off on turn 11 right here. Really just wanted to take you guys through the track. So on the left side of us, right over here, is going to be turn 12. Now, I haven't seen what they use turn 12 for. I don't think they use it for the IMSA course or the sports car course, but turn 12 is going to be right in front of us. Just wanted to show you guys that. I've never used it in me racing on iRacing or any other game for that matter. So that's going to be turn 12. We were just on turn 11. So right now we're going up to turn 1. And turn 1, you kind of want to dip your tire a little bit here, ride this white line, and I usually shift down into 5th gear in this car and kind of try to stay close to this cone right here on the pit exit. Coming through right here, this is a tricky turn because you're up on a hill and you want to kind of dip your tires there. So coming down into turn 4 here, which is going to start the S's for us here. So this quick little right, left, right, and then this goes into turn 5, which you kind of want to trail bake a little bit, come out really wide here, ride that curb, stay here, and then move a little bit to the left. It's real tricky because when you hit that curb, it can offset your car a lot, and in me practicing even, I have wiped the car out completely. So going into turn 6 here, I'm usually in 4th gear here, and I usually, or 5th gear, and I usually trail brake it just down to 4th, trail brake it in, trying to get really close to this curb, if not riding it, to get myself a good exit for turn 7, downshift all the way into 2, ride the curb here on turn 7, and then come out to the left. Now for the fun part, the real fast part. So here's the straightaway. So turn 8 and 9 is on this straightaway. Braking down, coming down into 3rd, trail brake it off just a little bit to get that rotation in. You have 10A and 10B right there, and then turn 11 right here, which is yet another hill that you're going down. So you can't see exactly where you're going. You have to kind of pick a spot on the track and then just guide your car down that hill, which if you're not used to not seeing the road, it's kind of hard to do. I don't know how these guys do it as fast as they do in real life, because this track is insane. It really is crazy. But after going through the walkthrough, after doing it a couple times, I do feel really good about the track. After racing it last week in LMP3, I do feel really good. Alright guys, so that's going to be my kind of drive-through of Road Atlanta and Petit Le Mans. I do hope you guys enjoyed going through the track with me, kind of seeing how I drive it. In no way, shape, or form am I a professional driver, so take my lines with a grain of salt. But with that being said, yeah, endurance racing has really like been top tier to me lately in terms of watching IMSA and WEC and everything like that. So it's just been a great time this season. It's been a great season to see these GTP cars, the LMDH cars battle it out through traffic, and thus translating me into the sim wanting to drive those kinds of races. So I do hope you enjoyed this kind of history / drive-through of the track. If you want to do more of these, I do know that the last race for WEC is in Bahrain, so maybe we can hop on LMU and kind of do a track guide of that. I haven't driven on Bahrain too much, so it'd be nice to kind of learn that track as well. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. I want to continue doing this type of thing, even if it's for F1 as well. I think F1 can be really cool. And comment down below what your favorite track of the IMSA season is and who you think is going to come out on top. Even though I can tell you who's going to come out on top, because Felipe Nasser and one of the other guys at Penske Porsche, I think, are tied for manufacturers. But which driver do you think is going to come out on top? Comment down below. Thanks for watching, as always, guys. I appreciate every one of you that subscribes, every one of you that likes the video, interacts. We're building a community slowly but surely, and learning how to drive every single time we get in the cockpit. So I hope your races go well this week on whatever you're driving on. I'm out for the next one. Stay tuned. Peace.